Welcome to New York Giants Full Access. What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access with your boy BigPatssportsTalk. And yes, Giants fans, we lost to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, 23-16, and it was a disappointing loss. Reason why we were at home, it was prime time, it's Monday night. This was the perfect game to try to, take that stigma off of the New York Giants not be able to perform during prime time. Daniel Jones was primed to get his first win in prime time, and it didn't happen. And it's very unfortunate. Just a preview of the game. The offense definitely has some work to do as far as the receiving room. The running game is just fine. But the receiving, the passing game, the receivers, we got a lot of work to do as an offensive squad as far as pass blocking. And this receiver core has been viciously disappointing. Wink Martindale, we gave up some rushing yards to Pollard and Zeke. We let them get to the outside and hit those toss plays against us and going out on the edge against us. We had some linebackers playing very undisciplined, and Calitro and I can't even get his name right, but Tate Crowder. We had some deficiencies as far as zone coverage with our DBs, so the defense didn't play up to par, as well as the passing game didn't play up to par as far as these receivers. We could have did a lot better offensively. We could have did a lot better defensively in this game. We got outplayed. There's no excuse about it. We got outplayed by Cooper Rush, and that offensive line did one hell of a job blocking our edge rushers. They did one hell of a job blocking when it came to the run game. Did a hell of a job. CeeDee Lamb had a hell of a game. Noah Brown came up with some clutch catches. The tight ends came up with some clutch catches, and Dalton Schultz replacements because Dalton Schultz did not play. And this Cowboys team is showing that they're resilient. They lost their leader in Dak Prescott, and they've won the last two games against the Bengals, who was a playoff team last year, and an undefeated team in us going into week 3. They've gotten two very good victories after Dak Prescott got hurt week 1 against the Buccaneers. So you got to give them props. Shout out to Kevontae Turpin. He almost broke off a punt return against us that really pretty much iced the game almost. Pretty much iced the game against us. We still had a chance to come back with about a minute 37 left. Had to drive 95 yards, but Seals falls on the pass across the middle, and Diggs picks it off for the victory. The offensive line, my goodness. If Bobby Johnson doesn't tear into this offensive line after that game last night, I don't know what he has to do. Evan Neal, get your balance, brother. You're too big to be falling forward trying to block somebody. Just get your balance. Get your balance. I know you're trying to get the early punch, man. But for right now, you're concentrating too much on trying to get that early punch, and you're pushing forward, you're leaning forward, and you're getting blown past, and you're getting beat to the inside. Now, for the people that are bashing you, people got to understand that you are a rookie, and you're gonna have growing pains. And I believe this game is gonna teach Evan Neal a very, very good lesson. You are a huge man. You're big. You're Evan Neal. But this is the first time I've ever seen Evan Neal get beat like a drum the way he did last night against the Cowboys. And what he has to do is he has to take this as a lesson learned, go out there and get better to where nothing like this will ever happen to you again. So I'm actually pretty at ease with him getting beat like a drum. I think he needed that. Every great player gets a game or two where they just get beat like a drum. He's like, you know what? I'm way better than this. You will never do that to me again. So I'm looking for Evan Neal to take this as a lesson learned. When OG Bobby Johnson, when you get him in that film room, let him have it. Show him what he's not doing correctly. Show him what he can do to correct those mistakes. Because I believe Evan Neal has a lot of pride, man. He has a lot of pride. He went and dominated at Alabama. He dominated in the high school, and he damn sure wants to dominate in the NFL. So he has a lot of pride. He's going to take this as a lesson learned, and you're going to see a better Evan Neal going forward. Will he be perfect going forward? No. But I doubt that you will see him get beat like a drum like that again. I highly doubt that. Glowinski, Feliciano, and Ben Bredesen, man, look, y'all got to get better, bro. Evan Neal, I give a little bit, leeway. He's a rookie. He's going to get beat. But you three guys, you got to get better. 26 pressures. 26 pressures. You gave up 5 sacks. Daniel Jones has been pressured on at least 49% of his dropbacks this year. And I believe he's one of the highest sack quarterbacks this year. That has to change. And those are just the facts. Daniel Jones has been under constant pressure this whole season so far. The most pressured quarterback in the league. And it's coming from the middle of the field, which is some of the worst pressure you can get, at least if it's coming from the outside. If you guys are handling your business, he can step up in the pocket and make something happen. This interior of this offensive line has got to get better. OG Bobby Johnson tearing to their ass. Pause. Tearing to them. You got to let them know that you are a detriment when it comes to this passing game. And if you can block a little bit better, maybe we can get some receivers open. But your blocking has been left a lot to be desired so far this season when it comes to those 3 guys. Now, Andrew Thomas, can't say nothing bad about him. He got beat one time by Parsons. He had a little bit of help from Breida on that play, so he was allowed to give up the inside a little bit on that play. But other than that, Andrew Thomas was throwing people on the ground. He doing what he normally does. I'm not worried about Andrew Thomas. Good game. But this offensive line, you guys have got to step up, man. You guys have got to step up. You have to protect Daniel Jones. And let's get him a little bit more time in that pocket to see if he can get some open receivers. Because last night was embarrassing. Last night was abysmal. Last night was terrible. Last night was whatever you can think of as far as this offensive line as a whole. 26 pressures. That is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Saquon Barkley, continue to do what you do. I think you're number 2 in the league in rushing yards with 317. You have 2 touchdowns on the season. You're doing pretty well. Keep doing what you do, Saquon. We got to get Saquon the ball a little bit more in the first. Let's get Saquon at least 10 carries in the first half. Not 11 carries in 3 games. Let's get Saquon Barkley at least 10 carries in the first half, and then we'll see where it goes in the second half, how we have to play. But let's get Saquon Barkley some carries, man, because we're passing the ball a tad bit too much to have no receivers that we can really count on that field like that. Let's get Saquon Barkley some carries in that first half. I don't care. Let's get him some carries and let's see what this defense wants to do. But I think Saquon Barkley needs the ball a tad bit more. I don't want to overuse him and get him hurt, but I think 10 carries in the first half of each game should be the goal to get this team rolling, especially if our defense is holding the way they did that first half, because they really didn't get gashed into the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter. But it was 6-3 in the first half. So when our defense is balling like that, when our defense is holding teams from not getting points, let's see about getting Saquon Barkley some rushes and see if he can break one like he did early in the second half last night. But I challenge Kafka when it comes to the play calling, when it comes to getting Saquon Barkley the ball a little bit more, because you have to get it to your playmaker. You have to get it to him. Give Saquon Barkley the ball, and let's see what he can do with at least 10 carries in each first half. That's not asking a lot. Let's win 3rd and 8s, and we're getting hit for 2 yards at the line of scrimmage. Hey, look, we can start getting those linebackers to creep up. Maybe one of these receivers can get behind one of these linebackers and, get a good catch over the middle or a good play action pass, and maybe we're able to go deep. But let's use what we have best, the run game. We're a very good run blocking team. We're a very good run blocking team, but a terrible pass blocking team through the first 3 games of the season. So let's get Saquon Barkley at least 10 carries in the first half and see how it goes going forward this season until we do something about these receivers. And speaking on the receivers, y'all got to step up, man. You're falling down on routes. Now you're dropping passes. Galladay in the media talking noise. When it comes time for him to step up, he drops passes. Our top 2 receivers, Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney, are combined. Listen what I'm saying. They are a combined 4 catches for 22 yards. Four catches for 22 yards and 3 drops. And I'll be honest with you, those 22 yards came from 2 catches from Kenny Galladay in the very first game. Kadarius Toney this year does not have a yard. He doesn't have a yard. He has no receiving yards through the first 3 games of the season. He was supposed to be mainly the number 1. I thought he was going to be the number 1 this year. But through 3 games, he does not have a yard. Kenny Galladay through 3 games has 22 yards, and they came in the first game. The last 2 games, he has no catches, 0 yards. Do you understand how bad that is when your top 2 receivers are combined 4 catches for 22 yards through 3 games? They're not even averaging a catch and a first down a game. They're not even averaging 1 catch or 10 yards a game. Do you know Stephon Diggs has outgained both those guys in 1 catch this season? That's what Daniel Jones is out there working with in the receiver room. His top 2 receivers this year have 4 catches for 22 yards. And his number 2 receiver has 0 yards. And they have 3 drops in between them. Sterling Shepard has just torn his ACL. He's gone. Richie James, shout out to Richie James. He's doing his absolute best out there. Wan'Dale Robinson's hurt. David Seals, we've seen through 3 games that he is not an NFL receiver on the outside that you can trust. He's shown us in 3 games. We got Darius Slayton, who's barely getting snaps, and I don't know why. We have to have the worst receiving core in the league. We got to get this fixed, Dabo and Kafka. We got to get this fixed. And I'm not saying that we got to get some receivers that go come out there and get 2 or 3 tons. Let's just get some receivers that people have to respect at least. Stop these damn DBs from just being in their back pedal the whole game. They're in that back pedal. These guys are not having to run with our receivers. Everybody's eyes are on Daniel Jones every pass play. Every play. They do not have to take their eyes off the quarterback. And that's a detriment to your offense. That's a detriment to the team. That's a detriment to get yards. That's a detriment to your run game. When the DB never has to respect the receiver running a route, period, you're going to struggle. I don't care what quarterback is out there. Something has to be done with these receivers. Something has to be done. We can work with Richie James in the slot for now, but we have to get an outside receiver that somebody respects. I'm not saying he has to be an all-pro, but damn, at least be able to get this man out his back pedal. There's no reason why 3 teams, 3 weeks in a row should be able to run the same type coverage against you. That tells me that you just have a lack of talent and a lack of effort out there. For nobody to come in and show you a tad bit of respect, that's just bad football, man. These receivers got to get it together, bro. I said that stuff before this game. I said our receivers are trash. They're not getting people out their back pedal on fly routes. Shepard out there playing so damn hard. Like I said, he was overcompensating from that damn Achilles on his knees, and his knee blew out on him. These receivers have to get healthy, and they have to get their head out their butts, man. This is ridiculous. Now let's get to the player everybody talks about all the time, Mr. Daniel Jones. 196 pass yards, 79 rushing yards, no touchdown. They're going to kill you for not throwing a touchdown. They're going to kill you for not being able to run in for a touchdown. They're going to kill you for your completion percentage on this game. They're going to kill you for not throwing 200 yards. They're going to say you had no pocket presence. They're going to say you just can't do it. They're going to say you're missing guys. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. But the real people know that guy played his heart out last night. 26 pressures. But he only had 5 sacks on the night. So you mean to tell me on 26 pressures with only 5 sacks, and 3 of them came by Evan Neal because he just gave up the goods from the jump? You mean to tell me a guy that's running all over the field like that has no pocket presence? Do you understand that all the big plays that we had, Daniel Jones was a part of just about all of them except the run for Saquon Barkley? You gonna sit there and tell me that he didn't have about 2 or 3 explosive plays called back because of penalty? You gonna tell me that this man didn't get out the pocket and was hitting people, trying to hit people? You gonna tell me that his receiver didn't fall when he threw that interception to Diggs? You gonna sit there and literally tell me that Daniel Jones playing his heart out didn't keep us in that game? If not, who was doing it? Who was doing it? Shout out to Daniel Bellinger. He had a pretty good game. I think Daniel Bellinger can be a tight end that we can work with going into this season. But we have to find at least one outside receiver that somebody respects. We just have to, bro. I'm going to be excited to see what we do against the Bears offensively. We're going to see what we can do. But going forward, this receiving core is the most glaring weakness on this team. And it's not even close. Right behind them is the offensive line. We got to get better. Maybe we get better when Shane Lemieux gets back. Feliciano has to get better. Bredesen has to get better. Izudu has to get better. Glowinski has to get better. But as far as this offense, I'm not saying Daniel Jones is perfect, but I know Daniel Jones, if he had a number one receiver out there and his offensive line just blocks a little bit better when it comes to pass protection and not give up 26 pressures, Daniel Jones can carve some people up, man. You can call me crazy. You can call me a DJ lawyer, DJ Homer, Giant Homer, whatever you want to call me. Go ahead, bro. But I watch the games and I watch the film. And I know one thing, that kid can do some amazing things when he has time. And sometimes when he doesn't have no other choice. Is he perfect? No. Does he miss plays? Yeah, he does. But every quarterback misses a couple of plays here and there. Is that kid as tough as nails? Hell yeah. Is that kid trying his hardest to do whatever he has to do with whatever he has on that field? Yeah, he is. Does he have much less than what these top tier quarterbacks have to work with? Yes, he does. Is Daniel Jones one of the reasons why we are a tough team? Yes, he is. But we got to get it together on the offensive line and this receiving core, man. We got to work on it. And like I said, injury news, Sterling Shepard tore his ACL. Prayers out to young Shep, a.k.a. Riggs. Praying for him. Maybe he's able to continue his career, but he might need to seriously look and say it's about that time, man. There's too many catastrophic injuries. We cut 2 people off the practice squad, so some signings are coming. So let's wait and see who we sign, and let's see who we get. Will it be a receiver? Will it be a linebacker? Take Crowder and Calitro. You got to play a lot better than what you played last night. There was a lot of runs that were caused by you guys. Kayvon Thibodeau, Ojulari, you got to play better at setting the edge on the run game. There was a lot of runs caused by you guys as well. It's your first game this season. And we're 2-1. It's not the end of the world. It's still 11-6. Let's go out here this Sunday and let's beat Chicago at home. And then we head to London to play the Packers. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that blue join button if you want to see things like What Are You Doing series. Highlight commentary about me and the Giants on the Giants games weekly. Going to be starting those next week for my members. It's going to be members only. So hit that join button and support the channel. I think it's $1.99 right now. You get to see one of the funniest series in NFL football. What Are You Doing weekly? And you're going to get more Giants content. You're going to get more film reviews. You're going to get a whole lot more with this channel moving forward. Because this is New York Giants full access. So when you hit that blue join button, you're going to get the New York Giants full access. You're going to get to see a lot more film reviews. You're going to see a lot more highlights. You're going to see a lot more opinions. So hit that blue join button, support Big Pat Sports Talk, become a member of the Big Blue Crew, and talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk. But until the next New York Giants full access with yours truly, Big Pat Sports Talk. Peace. This has been a Big Blue Crew production.